there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittney Bundles, and today's video is going to be a little bit of a different type of setup. I am traveling, so I'm going to be recording while driving. My baby is asleep, and then my other two boys are awake currently. So yeah, that's kind of the status of what's going on in the car. But we've been traveling pretty much all day, all night. We should be there in a few hours, but I decided to go ahead, like I mentioned, and get this video recorded. So today's video, I'm going to be answering or explaining some things that should go on an informational card for your salon or for your business. Now, an informational card, I'll try to find one online or find one of my old ones from my salon and insert a picture in the video. But pretty much it's a little bit bigger. It's a lot bigger a lot of times than a business card. And it provides information about the establishment that you're working with or that you're visiting. So for example, when I was working at my salon and I was using informational cards, I had the informational cards in the front in like this little container, and the container was like, it was plastic and it stood upright, and it had it was kind of like I'm trying to think, I think I had it right by my business cards, but it pretty much was like a welcome, I don't want to say pamphlet because it wasn't a pamphlet, but it was like a vertical informational card, if you will. I was going to say poster, but just a vertical card that shared information about my salon, my services, had a picture, and different things like that. So I did get an email asking, what kind of information should I put on the informational cards for my salon, because I do have business cards. So I'm just going to go over my perspective. Like I mentioned, if you are interested in this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into the video. I do want to start off by saying this. Everyone's going to be different because everyone has a different vision, and everyone is using informational cards and business cards for different things. I use my business cards for, I had like a picture on the business card, I had the website, I had my phone number. That was pretty much it. And I had like my slogan. That was about it. The informational card had more information in detail. So if a customer was new or a client was new to the salon, then I would first reach for the informational card because it gave out information about the salon itself. It gave out information about the location, the address, the phone number, the hours of operation, the services that were offered, and it also provided a little bit of a background story in regards to the salon and our vision. So that's in a nutshell pretty much what the difference between the business card and the informational card was. But I'm going to go ahead and start with the first point. The first point that I have on my list is image/logo. So when you are creating an informational card for any business, this is not specific just to hair businesses or salons. But whenever you're looking to create an informational card, you do want to make sure that you have an image that is professional and that captures what it is the informational card is representing. So for me, I use my face, which is the face of my business. If you go to my website, which is badshakehair.com, you will see a picture of myself. On my business card, the picture was of myself. So it depends, whatever you want to go with. You can use your logo, you can use your face if that's what you're using for your business. You can use your salon or your establishment. You can use different products and services. You can use a picture of maybe your business at an event. You can use, you can be creative, but I would recommend having a professional picture. And when I say professional, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to a photographer, a professional photographer, and go someplace and actually have your pictures taken. I've created multiple videos in the past of different workarounds to still capture and create professional images. But you do want a professional image because a lot of times people are looking directly at that picture before they read anything else. That's just what a lot of people do. Even me, I've been guilty of it, looking at a picture before I even look at any of the literature. So be sure to have a professional picture on your informational card to capture attention. The second point that I have is larger in size for more info space. So I'm referring to, and I wrote this, the size of your informational card. So there's different informational cards. There are some that are vertical, some that are horizontal. There are some that are smaller than others, some that are larger, but it all depends on the information that you want in that informational card. Informational cards are also great to carry with you to pop-up shops because they're larger than business cards. Typically, they're going to hold more information. So some people will give out their business card and then also print like a paper going over their business and providing different information, and then hand their customers and clients, or potential customers and clients, their business card along with that paper that they printed. However, I found it, because I've tried both ways, I find it more beneficial, and I found it more beneficial when I was in the salon too, to use the informational cards, because what would happen is I would see a lot of people leaving that paper behind, a lot of people tossing the paper out on their way out the salon, or a lot of people even tossing it in the trash if they stayed in the salon for a while getting a service or just talking. Because in my opinion, it's easier to value something that looks a little bit more put together. So you may, if you're printing out flyers, your flyer may be thrown away quicker than someone's business card, or your flyer may be thrown away, if it's just like a printed flyer, quicker than an informational card. So you do want to be very cautious of that, and figure out what all you want on that informational card, and then determine the size based on that, instead of choosing the size that you want and trying to cram everything on there. I knew what I wanted, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I knew the points that I wanted to hit with my informational card, so I went ahead and I wrote everything out, and then I looked at the different options that were available to see which size was going to fit my vision. The third point that I have is summary of your business and services / products. So my advice, like I mentioned throughout this video, is to make sure that you are including information about your business. There have been, and your products and services, there have been informational cards that I have picked up and it lacked so much information. It would have a picture, it would have business hours, and it would have maybe like give us a like on Facebook or something like that. So the card lacked a lot of information. It did have, like I said, the closing hours and pictures, and it had like us on Facebook, and it had their email address, and here's our slogan. But it really didn't have the essence of the business on that informational card. And I'm not saying that you have to go into too much depth and write like a whole biography about your business. However, you do want to use that opportunity, in my experience, to really sell your business and explain what it is you can offer, so that you can provide solutions to customers' needs and also wants, or clients or potential customers and clients. But you do want to use that opportunity as a selling point. I think so often we lose the point of it all, if that makes sense. We get so wrapped up in doing something, and we kind of lose sight of what our goal is. And if our goal is to provide solutions and to be able to sell value based on what our customers and clients and potential customers and clients need, we need to make sure that we're using every opportunity to outline and to showcase what it is we can offer. And a lot of times we just miss the ball, and I'm saying we because there's been times that I've missed the ball too. We just miss the ball in doing that. We get so wrapped up in trying to make sure that everything coordinates, so wrapped up in trying to make sure that the card looks beautiful. And although image is very important, I went over the importance of having a professional picture or logo or image on your informational card. So it is really important, but it's not the most important factor. It's important because it does attract and it can bring interest and actually keep that informational card in their hand, so that they can pass it on to someone else or read about what it is you're offering and come back at a later date, or stay there, whatever the case may be. But there still should be information, like I said, that is very strategic in reaching your overall goal, which, for a lot of us entrepreneurs, is securing more customers, clients, and being able to grow our business based on providing value and solving needs and also wants. Now, the fourth point that I have on this list is polished texture. So there are multiple textures that you can get your salon card printed on. Just like there's multiple selections or different options for like different cards. I remember when I was sending out invitation cards, or about to send out invitation cards, there were different like textures that I could choose from. And also when I'm looking at different printing paper, there's different textures. So there's different textures that you can choose from for an informational card. I would really look at the theme of your business and figure out what you're trying to get across, because every business is different. But I used a polished finish. It was just like a glossy finish on the front, and I don't think it was glossy on the back, but you can get it glossy on the back too. And I had my informational card one-sided. I didn't want it to be information overload where I'm just writing so much to the point that no one really reads it. They may read a few lines and that's it. So I didn't want it to get boring. So what I did, or seem like it's a lot of reading, because some people, when they look at anything with a lot of reading or a lot of writing, and sorry, I meant to say a lot of writing, not reading, but when they look at a lot of writing, they automatically get tapped out. There is a such thing as information overload. When I used to work in a call center, there would be people calling in, and I would have my colleagues, around me, and I would listen to different calls. And also there was a time where I was coaching on different calls. And one thing that I would always coach towards when I was working with one of my co-workers or colleagues is to not give so much information. So a customer may call in and they maybe have a question about their bill, and they may want to know why their bill went up $5. And literally, some calls would take an hour to explain the $5 increase. They would go back over, their last 5 bills, and they would go over the definition of proration, forward and backward, and they would go over, and really all that's great, but really the reason their bill went up $5 was because of a late fee. So instead of using that opportunity to explain, okay, your bill is higher this month because the payment was received after this date, what we can do is to maybe set you up for auto pay, or we can look at maybe changing your payment date, different things like that. And then also seeing what else we could do to add value to that call by either adding another service, if that's something that would have made their life easier. Maybe they work from home and they only had TV with us, and internet service would have provided a discount, and also provided them a faster speed so they can work more efficiently at home. Whatever the case may be, there's just a lot of dropped opportunities because a lot of representatives focus on providing too much information instead of providing the information that was needed and then jumping right into the value to continue to enhance that interaction and experience. So we do want to make sure that we're taking advantage of that opportunity. Like I said, for me, I did use a polished glossy texture, but you can go ahead and use, like I said, whatever fits your theme. That's what I recommend. And then the last point that I have is have someone proofread before publishing. I'm just going to say that, before you go ahead and publish your information card or informational card, please have someone proofread it. Don't just rely on yourself to proofread it. Have someone go back through it and read it. When I was writing my ebook, I had a couple people go back and read it, and then I had it submitted to a company to professionally read and grammar check as well, just to make sure that everything flowed right. When I read it, I went through and I caught some grammar or some punctuation mistakes and errors. And then when my mom read it, she caught some after I had already caught some, and after she read it, my aunt caught some, and then when I sent it to the company, they caught some too. So it's really good to make sure, even if you are a great writer, a great reader, sometimes your eyes just don't catch your mistakes all the time. You just don't. That's why it's really good to have someone else look at your website too. By the way, I do offer website reviews, so if you are interested in that, be sure to check out my website. The link is always down below. It's at badchickhair.com. But it's really important, in my opinion, to have someone double check your work. And then also, if you're using spell check, on your computer, you can go ahead and use that too, or another app. Even if you are using an app, though, I still recommend having a few sets of human eyes on it before you print the informational card to make sure that everything's fine. Because a lot of companies that do offer informational cards, like that do provide those services, you don't get a redo. Once you finalize that everything's correct, if it's sent out and if there's an error that you realize while the cards have already been ordered or after they've been ordered, a lot of times you're stuck with it. And if you printed the informational card yourself and you made an error, then that's wasted material that you're using as well. So you just want to make sure that you've wasted if you decide not to use it. So just be sure that you're double checking your work. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, informational cards are very valuable. There's something that I definitely use that I don't use at this point. I do use my business card and hair care instructions because when I'm doing, that works. But if I do go back into a brick and mortar location, I will definitely have informational cards again. Informational cards are not just limited to brick and mortar location. There are plenty online businesses that use them as well, and you can see them a lot of times when you go into different functions, or when you go to different pop-up shops, or maybe even like the fair, just different booths. You may see some informational cards sitting up there. So just something to consider. If you have any additional questions, feel free to leave them down below, or any video suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. Sorry that I can't really make eye contact in this video, and that's just because I am driving, but I'm sure you all understand. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.